Hey YouTube, Black Beans of Pain here. Today I want to show you guys an updated version of my Elemental Disaster Dragon deck profile. This deck I have not been testing out as much as the other decks I've been working on. Mainly because of all the variants of Disaster, this is my least favorite. However, I do think this is one of the best variants of Disaster we have ever had. So without further ado, I'll just start with the deck. 1 Darkness Metal, standard any Disaster Dragon deck. Triple Tempest, because Tempest is pretty much the best in the deck, both best Elemental Dragon in the deck, since it has the most targets to search, and it even has the effect of letting you to start it and another Dragon type monster in your hand in order for you to add. I think it's Dragon type. Sorry, it's not Dragon type. It's a start Tempest and 1 Wind type monster in order for you to add any monster or Dragon type monster from your deck to your hand. So Darkness Metal instantly becomes accessible, and any of the other dragons you possibly need for the situation. Triple Blaster. This card is the strongest in terms of attack power out of all the elemental dragons. 2800 beater. It's a pretty good effect too. It's basically a card that can pop anything on the field by starting Blaster and 1 Fire Dragon. So Blaster does quite a bit of work in getting over problem cards. The triple Redox, because Redox is pretty much a 3k wall, and it has a built-in Monster Reborn effect, and who wouldn't want the Monster Reborn effect? That and all 9 of the Elemental Dragons I run, they each search out all the each can search out all the other monsters in my main deck, making them very, very good. So for consistency and deck speed, that's perfect for me. 3 of each, and then I'm running 1 Lightning, 1 Burner, and 1 Reactant. Shout out to Richard Clark for the idea. Even though I don't really like running the babies, because I prefer not having to run the babies, I do admit that with the babies, the deck has become quite a bit faster and more consistent. So I say running 1 of each baby is a very good choice. And then the 1 Yamada Dragon, because Yamada Dragon is searchable by Blaster, and because it basically allows you to refill your hand. It's pretty much this deck, in my opinion, has a lot of ways of refilling your hand. So Yamada Dragon helps in that respect. And the advantage it has over Super Rejuve is that you can still set your hand. So if you got any traps or something, you can set them and go. But with Super Rejuve, you have to keep adding and discarding. Neither of them are bad, but I mean, there's advantages of Yamada Dragon and Super Rejuve. Also, Yamada Dragon is a level 7, making it really good with the Elemental Dragon engine, because it can go into the range 7 and C monsters, such as Big Eye and Dracossack. And then I run a double Collecting Moon Draco, really good against the Evil Swarm matchup, helps me a lot. It's also a good 1900 beater, and it's searchable by Tempest. The double Masked Dragon, pretty much a card that allows you to search out any of these from your deck. It's your 1400 floater. It's also searchable by Blaster, or if you feel it's dead in your hand, you can just use it as material for Blaster's effect. Next, we got Delta Flyer. Delta Flyer is not exactly necessary in this in particular build Disaster, but I just like running Delta Flyer because to me it's sort of a card I will always run in my Dragon decks just because of how good it is. This card allows me to have the ability of going into level 10s, 8s, and 7s, and potentially 6s too. So basically this 1 tuner can give me the ability to go into any of my Synchro monsters, depending on what monster I have in the field. It's also searchable by Tempest, making it a very good card, as well as searchable by Masked Dragon's effect. Next, we got the 1 Exploder Dragon, searchable by Redox, and is a card that can basically just ram into any annoying monster your opponent has and then destroy it, pretty much. Pretty much a kamikaze card. The Double Debris Dragon searchable by Tempest, and does quite a bit of work. It can do quite a bit of work, allowing you to go into your synchro plays and your XYZ plays. And if you really need to, it can become a 2,000 defense point wall, making it pretty good first turn move, I guess. It's not a good move, but at least, you know, it will give you some sort of protection since most monsters don't exceed 1900, besides the Evil Swarm 1950 normal monster. So, yeah, the Breeze Dragon, really, really good card for exceeding and synchroling. Golem Dragon is one of the main targets I use for Debris. This allows me to go into my SC's plays with Debris. I summon Debris, get Golem Dragon, then go for Queen Dragon Jin. I go for Gaia Cowboy, or whatever I can go into. Golem Dragon also has an effect of its own, and it's also supposed to summon by Mass Dragon. This card pretty much makes it so my opponent can only target Golem Dragon as an attack target. So it draws the fire away from my opponent's monsters. 2K wall, pretty good. Next is one Totem Dragon. This card is really good. It works wonders with the effect of Redox, and it's also special summonable by Mass Dragon. And the reason I run Totem is because I will run Yamana Dragon. And why you don't really need Totem, I had extra spot left, and for consistency wise, and because I didn't know anything else I could put in, I put Totem Dragon in. And it's working out really good so far, but I mean, this deck still has a lot more testing to go through, so it might go out, but for right now it stays. And one Flammable Guard, so I can instantly get into my level 8 synchros, and it's also searchable by Blaster, Mass Dragon, and can be used as fodder for Blaster's popping effect. That's it for the monsters. I run 25. Onto the spells, I'm running triple Super Rejuve. Regardless of how much I do not like to run this card in a Disaster deck, I cannot deny the fact that Rejuvenation gives the deck quite a bit more speed, and gives it a easier time against the mirror matchup, I guess. And in Everdeath as well, due to Super Rejuvenation give you a lot of speed, a lot of draw power, I guess. Do triple Gold Star because I'm running 9 Monster Dragons. Double MST. Now the MSTs are pretty much the card that I'm the most iffy about right now. I only main the MSTs because Evil Swarms are still a deck, and there are decks that still do run a little bit of back row. And even some of the top tier decks run a tiny bit of back row. Like Evil Swarms run quite a bit of back row. Elemental Dragons really don't run any back row, but they might start setting, you know, breakthrough skills, and I want to get rid of those. So to me, it's better to be safe than sorry. So the MST does work, and it's just there for my own doubts. Next up, we got Book of the Moon, Heavy Storm, Monster Reborn, all staples. Then on to the traps, we got the double Breakthrough Skill. Breakthrough Skill is a card that actually just went down in price, I believe. It's been reprinted, I believe, in Battle Pack 2. And I believe it's around $13, $12 for an Ultra now. It might be a little higher, but somewhere around there. So Breakthrough Skill is a little bit more affordable now than it was earlier. But it has a really good effect. It can negate up to twice, making it a better card than Effective Veiler in certain ways. So Breakthrough Skill does work in that respect. Good against E-Dragons and even against Evil Swarms. And the double compulsory evacuation device just for basic monster removal. Also pretty good against Evil Swarms. Well, somewhat good against Evil Swarms, so it can get rid of their Ophion before it uses its effect, or to get rid of the materials they're about to use for XYZ. So it does work against Evil Swarms and good E-Dragons too. If you time it right, when we get Draco Sack, you can remove Draco Sack from the field and make it basically one minus. So Compulse does a lot of work. And that's it for the main deck, 40 cards. Onto the extra deck. We got one Iron Chain Dragon, one Black Rose Dragon, one Stardust Dragon, one Fauntleroy Archfiend, because this card, I run this card with Red Dragon Archfiend only for a few reasons. Even though it's weaker, Fauntleroy Archfiend does still have enough power to beat over most of the cards in today's game. Fauntleroy also heals your life points and can negate any spell or trap that targets you by targets Fauntleroy by paying 1,000 life points. That means Lance can be negated, Dress, Phoenix Chain, Breakthrough Skill, or whatever you use to target Thought Ruler, it can be negated. So Thought Ruler does work, and that's like cards. That's use cards like that. Strap Dragon, just for Strap Dragon. Crimson Blader for the mirror matchup, and Triton Dragon for the possible Triton Dragon OTK, which is possible because of Delta Flyer and the easiness of gaining it, along with at least one Elemental Dragon. And even if you don't OTK, you do have 3K beaters, so Triton Dragon. Next, on to the at sea monsters. 1 Leviathan, just in case I can get into rank freeze. 1 Lightning Chidori. This is a very conditional card because I don't really get into it that much, but when I do, its effect does do good. 1 Garuda Cowboy, just for the opportunity to use it. 1 Punarun Jin. This card is the card I would go into the most out of all my rank 4 SCs. It works really well with the engine, the Elemental Dragon engine. It brings back the Elemental Dragon I need, so I can go for even further plays. It protects my dragons from being destroyed by battle, so it could create a sort of lock loop with Golem Dragon if I want to as well. And if necessary, to even bring back Darkness Mail. So Punarun Jin is just a really good card. Double Dracosack because Dracosack is Dracosack, and the double Big Eye because it's Big Eye. And that's it for the deck. Please remember to rate, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you guys think about the deck. I apologize if I'm hard to understand. I don't know what's wrong with me. My voice has been messed up for a little bit for the past few days. So, yeah. And I'll see you guys next time.